Hello, and welcome to the Pandora's Box Hoplomachus expansion campaign. We are super excited to have you here. I'm Logan Giannini, one of the designers of this content, and I'm going to walk you through what comes in much of this content. The Victorum box, Pandora's Ruin, sees Pandora back on Earth looking to right the wrongs of her past. You can play with her in battling the Scions, you can use the heroes she's brought with her, and explore the Victorum campaign through Pandora's lens. The first module in the Victorum box is going to be Mercurys Boots. Now, Mercurys Boots is something that people have actually been requesting since very early on after Victorum delivered, which is a quicker way to play Victorum. People love the campaign structure, they love the advancement of the hero, and really everything about the game, except some people have found that it is just a little bit too big of an ask to play a whole campaign. Even when you break it up act by act, it's just a little too much to keep it on your table or keep it in your mind for a week. And so to help alleviate some of that difficulty, we have come up with Mercurys Boots. Mercurys Boots is not going to bring new components. It is simply going to be a new rule set that is going to allow you to play essentially the same game in a much quicker window. So something to look forward to if you love the mechanics of Victorum, but struggle to get to the end of a possibly 8 to 10 hour campaign in the amount of time that you have. The Dark Days expansion is going to inject a little bit more lore and asymmetry into each of your campaigns. What the Dark Days expansion does is actually adds a number of events for each different event deck related to the Scion that you're facing. So if you're facing, say, the Hydra, you would find the Hydra-specific events, shuffle the Bloodsheds into that deck, the Opportunities into that deck, and the Scion Sport events into the Sport deck. This means you're going to have a unique batch of events that you only see when you're facing certain Scions, which means their presence is felt a little bit more through the whole campaign itself, and gives you a little bit more variety and uniqueness to look forward to as you build up to facing the Scion themselves. The Arenas module is going to inject a level of asymmetry into your travels around a given region. So currently, when you are in, say, the New Argonauts area of the map, you will always be using the same set of New Argonauts rules in the New Argonauts arena. What the Arenas module is going to introduce is a set of double-sided arena cards, but instead of having different arenas on each side, each one will now have the same arena with different rule sets. So in New Argonauts, you may be shackled together on one side. When it flips over, all of a sudden you have a new set of rules where you have to reach the weapons racks to be able to utilize your attack properly. Otherwise, you lose dice and can't use them. So each area now is going to be just a little bit fresher as you travel through it, with those cards flipping back and forth so that for the most part, you're never playing the same set of rules twice. This also gives you a whole new host of strategies to try to figure out and master, and then, hopefully, exploit. The Faces of Evil module adds several new Scions to the mix in Victorum. These Scions are super exciting in a couple of senses. One being they actually come from certain cultures that we may not have explored yet within Victorum and Remastered. So you're going to see us tapping into some new mythologies that may come as a pleasant surprise to you. Additionally, we got to play with some new mechanics, some really wild stuff. Not that we weren't wild in the core box, but these Scions really push the envelope. So keep an eye out for these 3 Scions, and keep an eye on the stretch goals, as there may even be another one who takes shape. The Rivals expansion module for Victorum may be the one I'm the most excited about, in kind of a funny way. So basically what the Rivals expansion gives you is a whole new deck of cards. And that deck of cards is going to give you Primus events. So currently in the game, when you reach a Primus at the end of one of your first 3 acts, you turn to a page in the manual, you read out a lineup, you set it up, and then you just fight a certain number of units. There's a little bit of asymmetry, but not a lot. It's basically the same every time you reach that point. So what the Rivals expansion does is it adds this Primus event deck, and basically now treats Primus events like Bloodsheds and like Sports in that when you reach them, you take that top card, which you can see face up, so you know what's coming, and it's gonna apply modifiers. It's gonna apply greater asymmetry, more uniqueness, more difference in the lineups and special rules for these Primus events, which gives you an added layer of strategy to pay attention to through the act leading up to it. So this is really going to not just add a lot of variety, but it's going to help streamline that portion of the game. You don't have to go to the manual anymore. You don't have to set Primus health to a custom number. You'll just use the health on the chip. And unlike Primus events in the core box, you will actually use act modifiers just like every other event. So it's going to actually smooth over that portion of the game in some really cool ways. Now, for those of you who have remastered, who have Victorum, and are looking forward to trying to mix those even a little bit more than we've already facilitated, we have Pandoras Might. Pandoras Might is a small box expansion with really a single purpose. It is designed to bring your heroes from remastered into Victorum. So you have the hero chips, but now you have the hero prowess cards. So each one is fully unique and fully playable in a Victorum campaign. In addition to that function, this box also contains Pandora herself, with her own prowesses making her playable as a hero in Victorum or as a crowd favor hero in Remastered.